live stream over to my other platforms. Hold. Okay, we have returned. Okay, we have returned. Hello, everyone. Good day. How are you? Holly King here. Welcome to my Wild Kingdom Wellness podcast. We are live streaming this morning from YouTube. And so, what do we want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, today is Monday, April 13th. Okay, April 13th, 2026. The color of the day today, according to Llewellyn's Witch's 2026 date book, the color of the day today is gray, and the moon is in Pisces today. So I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter because that was a week ago, Sunday. And I hope everyone started out the month of April realizing that the entire month of April may just feel like an April Fool's Day month. So sometimes I feel like I'm living in the movie Groundhog Day. But I digress. How is everyone today? First, before we get started today with the forecasting and discussion, our wellness discussion today on April 13th, Monday, make sure you like and subscribe. I do have the chat open, so if you are here watching via the live stream, if I catch your info on the chat, I will be happy to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about building community. So, okay, let's dive right in. I knew when I started this podcast just now that I wanted to talk about the current day energy when it comes to astrology and where the sign of Aries is in the sky right now. Okay. Or better yet, where are the planets and sun and the moon and the stars in relation to the constellation Aries as it pertains to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual events? We're just going to call them events. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching via the live stream, I'm going to turn around my iPad here. And so for those of you all listening on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding up the current day astrological natal chart as it stands right now in time. So if you were born right at this very moment, if you were someone that comes out right now, this would be your natal chart for the day. The natal chart tells me, ladies and gentlemen, where the sun, the moon, the stars are. And right over here, y'all, okay, right over here, let's see. Good morning. I got to put my glasses on, see who's watching. Don't hang up. All right. Roborek Injanov. Hi. Hello. How are you? This is your astrology lesson for the morning, okay? So take a listen. All right. This particular chart here is our constellation. This is our universe, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So that's Aries. There's Pisces. I'm going backwards. There's Aquarius. This particular clock or this particular chart is like a time clock of the universe. Okay. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the sign of spring. It's a fire sign when it comes to astrology and reading astrology. And y'all, there is a meaning behind each element. Okay, so fire sign means action, energy, conflict. It's not a very good negotiator, although Mercury does enter into Aries tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But, Mars and Aries, those are the gods of conflict, okay, in the universe. When it comes to the philosophy and the teaching and the understanding of astrology, okay, and predictive astrology, because there is such a thing, okay. So when I look at today's natal chart on April the 13th, 2026, I see Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the Sun, and Chiron all stationed in the sign of Aries as we speak. Okay, again, in the god of war, conflict, control, rise and fall of empires. That's the kind of energy that's happening right now as we speak in astrology. All right. I'm not making this up. For those of you all watching, please hit like and subscribe. I'm on my iPad. You see this energy here? That little dot there, that's the sun. Okay. So that's the sun. This is where we are in time. Guys, look at all that energy in the sign of Aries. This is so predictive to what's going on in current day times that for me, as an astrologer, just for fun, just for shits and giggles, guys, this is big stuff. And if you're not listening to me and you're in my inner circle, you're not watching these videos, liking and subscribing, and weird things are starting to happen to you, you are having anxiety over current events. Well, I, guys, I'm here each day, every day going, I'm going to look and see, where it is I need to concentrate my energy as a person, but I also need to step back as a reader of astrology and someone that just lives in her own little bubble and go, you know, Prince was right, y'all. This is the sign of the times. Okay. So if you don't know who Prince is, he's one of the greatest musicians that ever walked the planet. Hello. But, Prince was right. Like, you're going to have signs of the times. And if you're not paying attention, which a whole bunch of you are not paying attention to what's going on in astrology right now. And so you may eventually find yourself in a completely different situation in the next few months because all of this Aries energy, y'all, it is chaos. It is chaos. It is war. It's a money grabbing energy. However, it is also a time of rebirth and resurrection. Okay. The thing people forget when we look at astrology on a high scale level, on a very upper intelligent deep dive level of astrology, when you step back and you see what's happening with the daily horoscope, for a lack of better words, that's what it is, guys. This daily horoscope shows me as a reader that, first of all, I don't have a whole lot of control over what's happening in the world around me. I can only control myself, okay? And how I feel, how I think, what I perceive, what I think people think about me, like all of the energy that I present as a human being on the planet, my energy is vibrating just as much as the world's energy is vibrating when it comes to, the course of time and what's happening, with this World War III that we're in, globally, right? This is a global political shift of energy without a shadow of a doubt. And I can also say that I know that it is a global shift of energy because last March, we entered into, Pisces going into Aquarius, and that is spiritual global shift. Basically, you're just like, I'm going to walk into another dimension. That is exactly what's going on right now. So, why does this matter to people? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe, as a body worker and as a human being, that all of this collective energy that I'm looking at it on today's horoscope, all of this collective energy, all this Aries energy affects me as a person. And if I'm super sensitive, consciously aware of it, then I know that as I walk through my hour, my day, my week, my month, my year, as far as planning. When I start to walk out my existence on earth and I see that like the universe does support me on a very big level, right? But I cannot get involved in allowing negative energy, hate, genocide, annihilation of another country. And I'm talking to you, Donald Trump. Okay, just saying. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. I just step back as an astrologer and go, yep, this is exactly what needs to happen and why. But y'all, here's where I'm different as a human. So make sure you like and subscribe. In the chaos, I try real hard. I try real hard, y'all, to look for the positive, like the positive, because I'm a big picture thinker. Okay. And that's where, if I were looking at myself in today's horoscope natal chart and I wanted to like expand my thoughts beyond what I see going on in the world around me right now, I would look in my chart for where is Jupiter? Okay. Where is Jupiter? And for those of y'all that don't know, apparently there was a 3-eye AI Atlas, big, huge rock of something that floated through our universe and has stopped and stationed at Jupiter. So, ask NASA. I'm just going by what I heard. Okay. I heard it's not confirmed, allegedly. We'll just say allegedly. But apparently, we have a new asteroid that's hanging out in the around the planet Jupiter. And I heard a very scientific explanation for that. And it's because Jupiter is so big as a planet that whatever was floating through our universe basically got caught or has been caught in Jupiter's orbit. So, anyway, keep your eyes and ears open for 3-eye Atlas future updates, So, especially when it comes to astrology, because anything floating through our universe is going to disrupt the harmony and balance of this pretty perfect system, y'all. I'm just saying. So, but where is Jupiter right now in the signs of the times? Well, Jupiter is in Cancer. And so all this Aries energy is coming around the sun, coming around the mountain when she comes. That's a song I keep hearing in my head, y'all. But all this energy, all this fire energy, when I look at like where is my expansion going to come from? Where is my future destination going to rest in? And I look right now and go, "Oh, Jupiter's in Cancer. I need to be focusing on my own home, like my own four walls, and just be like, I got to take care of me and my family right now, and pray for me and my family right now." Sometimes, y'all, it's okay to say me and my. Okay. You can have feelings, emotions, energy, concerns, uneasy, psychological, thoughts in your mind about what's going on in the world around us right now with all this war. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to step back as an astrologer and look at today's natal chart and go, yep, time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay. We're going to watch all this stuff just completely go to the ground because we are ending an era, guys. We are ending out of, a very rigid era in humanity. Okay. But we're entering into a new world. Okay. So, you Pentecostals out there, all my friends from the evangelical church, yeah, you kind of right. It does feel like an apocalypse right now when it comes to like, what's going on with the holy wars and the money grabs and fighting over the oil, which is no more than Mother Nature's bloodline. It's her blood. You know how you're a human being and you go and you give blood and they take your blood and you're like, oh my gosh, they're sucking the blood out of me. Okay. But then your body reproduces more blood. That's what the oil does in the earth. But yet we still want to like design weapons of mass destruction and fight over something that can be plentifully, plentifully reproduced by our planet. And so it is. But oh my goodness, y'all, there is a lot going on in the world around us. I highly recommend that you like and subscribe. I really do. I think that if you start to watch day to day videos, week by week, month by month, you're going to start to see epic changes go on in society. But when we look at what's going to happen on the other side of all of that change, and again, I'm just being generic here, I do think that people who have been awake to the process and have taken care of themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually since 2020 and beyond will come out ahead when it comes to how our new world is going to look here just in a few weeks. So that is all. I love you all. Live the dream. Stay tuned. We'll talk about more of this stuff tomorrow. Or the next day, y'all. Like time just is irrelevant to me. But I got some updates for you all I want to talk about tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can get back on here and explain to you all that, April is and has been and is currently a very heavy month of dealing with things in the sign of Aries. And we haven't even gotten to the new moon yet, which is in Aries. So all these planets, all these celestial bodies, y'all, are in Aries at the same time. And the climax day is the 17th. Okay, so April 17th, we're going to have a spiritual orgasm. So make sure you stay tuned. So I love you. Live the dream. We'll talk to you soon. Have a beautiful, blessed day. We'll see you later. All right, stay tuned. Hot today. It's going to get hotter. Love you. Bye.